Welcome everyone to our Power A Team call this Saturday, October, gosh, help me out here, 2020, October 20th. Wow, we're nearing the end of the year. We just came out of a remarkable experience. I think for most of us who were in attendance, you'll have some nice things to say, I'm sure, about the summit that took place in Toronto this past week or weekend. And many of you were there. So I'm going to first give it over to our panel here, and maybe we can call upon some of you to share some of your insights, especially for the benefit of those who maybe were not in attendance and are looking at why they might want to make a point of attending the next big event. So let me turn to Bernadette. There you are, Bernadette. Would you mind sharing a few thoughts about what, in the context of the event, I think what we created or was hoping to create was a context for who is Niken, and give some depth and perspective to it. Of course, there was motivation, there was information, there was a lot of things, but when you walked away from it all, there was something more than that. And I'm getting the sense of all the Facebook posts that I've been seeing over the last 4 or 5 days, 5 days at least, of just the impact that this has had on people on a different level. So Bernadette, maybe you can give us a perspective from your point of view of this event and what it means to the business.
Thanks, Mike. You know, as I just came back from Toronto, and I really believe this is the beginning of something just wonderful in Niken. I came to Toronto with a team, and it had such a powerful impact. And what we really realized is they came out is, instead of saying, I'm doing Niken, they really see themselves as becoming professional. And that's, having Bob Proctor and Richard Bliss there were absolutely phenomenal. Hearing all those women on stage, very inspiring. And from early 40s to mid 60s and everything in between, just very, very inspiring. So for me, it's a first-class event in contents, in substance, in, I believe, the power of the heart and the power of our business. And that tells an incredible story. We're excited. I have to tell you, I just stepped out. We've been already 2 hours in meeting with my team, literally working on, everybody sharing and then planning and working on what we are literally shifting in how we're thinking and how we are making things happen. So, and everybody's already, registered for the San Diego event. Everybody, even the new people who were there this morning, they're already registered. That's it. So we know we're all going, and we know we're bringing a lot of people. So just powerful. I really believe, to me, who've been around Niken now for almost 20 years, hard to believe it's been that long. But it's just an incredible event that just says, this is where we need to be. This is where we need to really, I really believe that right now we're at a space where this event can be the turning point, the turning day for a lot of people. And it's a matter of whether or not we choose to make it that way. So just absolutely phenomenal. And I said to people, we want to bring the heart and the mind together, because when we do that, magic happens. It cannot be just all the heart, it cannot be just the mind, but it's really bringing the two together, and that's when the magic will happen. I really believe
that. Sorry, I was on mute for a second. I was talking, but nobody was hearing me. Well, yeah, I'm first of all, I hope you all heard that loud and clear, that everybody's already pre-registered for the next big event in April in San Diego. I think, Ben, you said that half the tickets were sold just at the event in Toronto alone.
So we're close to 70% now.
Oh my God. Okay. So it's going to go fast. And rightly so, because honestly, if you understand the nature of these events and how they can impact people on an emotional level, on a psychological level, on an intellectual level, you know that this would be the best thing you could do for yourself and for your business and for your team. So it's going to go fast. I don't think we've had this as an issue before, but we obviously now have an issue with with you may have to look at other rooms.
I know.
Go ahead, Ben. Why don't you share your thoughts?
Well, I want to share, I guess, two different thoughts that kind of struck me. I guess one is with the heart and one is with the mind. From the mind perspective, there are a few key messages that really stood out for me that I thought were important to reiterate. And that is, Richard Bliss Brooke shared an interesting comment where he talked about we all want to be a part of a legacy business. We use this word legacy a lot. I know in network marketing, we certainly use it a lot in NICAN because we are a legacy company. We're coming up for 44 years in age, which is incredible when you look at the average lifespan of any business. There was research done a number of years ago in the Netherlands that said the average lifespan of a company, regardless of industry, was 11 and a half years. And here we are approaching 44. And that's huge. But what he said was, in order to be a legacy company, he says one thing needs to happen, and that is you need to be able to take the hits and keep on moving forward. And because otherwise, if you don't take the hit, or if you take the hit and then you don't keep moving forward, then you don't become the legacy because you kind of implode when the hits come. And I like that because every business, and we've experienced it either in a microscopic level in our own organizations or at a macroscopic level, in a larger perspective, this ebb and flow and of business life and experience and energy. And you certainly have that over a 43-year history. But what he said was the fact that a company can, over those 43 years, take those hits and keep moving forwards is a huge credit to making it and establishing it as a very strong legacy business. I thought that was really very much worthwhile. And then, of course, highlighting the fact that in spite of how big we are and how wonderful we've been and what we're all doing to move into that next wave and that next generation of enthusiasm and growth, he said we can still look out into the public domain and realize that people still don't know who we are. We've got a fresh slate all the time. And I think that's incredible when you look at the opportunity that's presented to us to go out there and share what we have. Is almost without exception, we're going to be going into the field and sharing it with people that haven't heard of us before. And that's a great benefit that we have to have that in combination with 43 years of legacy experience. So I really like that message. I thought that was really powerful. From a heart perspective, I loved seeing the mixture of people in the business at the event. We had people that were there where this was their first event, their first NICAN event, their first exposure to the business. From a team perspective, and the sense of loyalty that infused in them that quickly was incredible. And immediately I've had them reaching out and connecting with me on Facebook and sharing posts and sharing messages and connecting with me and going, this was great, so glad to meet you, and we're glad to be a part of the team. And the impact that can have on a brand new person is incredible. And I have to, I tried to do it as much as I could in Toronto, and I'll be doing it for quite some time yet, I think. But I want to take my hat off to Mike and Bo again for putting on an event, which I said both to them and to the office, this could have been a corporate event, with all of the attention to detail. You'd have thought that there was a professional in-house events team that had been working on this full time to deliver this caliber of excellence that was delivered for us, the team. So I have to say a huge thanks. It's Mike is famous for his attention to detail, and it came into fruition and blossomed, I think, far greater than what I would imagine what you could have hoped for, Mike, because it was tremendous. So from a heart perspective, I think that event was something significant because, again, I'm going to refer back to research. It's been said about 70% of what you learn at a seminar or event will typically be forgotten within 2 weeks. Right? However, the emotion stays with you for much longer. It's almost like a roller coaster ride, isn't it? You can jump on a roller coaster if you go to Disneyland, for example, and go through loops and all sorts of twists and turns and go at breakneck speeds. And you'll come off, and a week later, you won't remember the flow of which way you went, but you will remember the buzz, the excitement, the adrenaline, the surge, the white knuckles holding on, and the smiles and the laughter and all of that. And it's the same with this event. There is a lot that people took notes on, a lot that will be applied, but the one thing that won't be forgotten is the feelings, the emotion. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we hold these events, is the emotions that it develops that binds us together. Because I have found one of the most important things for us to do in network marketing is to build loyal teams. How do we build loyal teams? We get together in person at events. It's hard to maintain a sense of loyalty and emotional connection as pen pals with our group. Really difficult to do that. But when we come together at these events, it's tremendous at what can happen in regards to loyalty, in regards to vision, in regards to expectation, and in regards to commitment. And so I think that's really, really important for us as we look forward going into 2019, to the rest of this year, of course, and into 2019, as to how we are committing to behave in our business when it comes to these events, because they can be life-changing, and certainly relationship developing. And as was mentioned, I want to touch on this a little bit out of necessity, really, because as Mike said, within 24 hours, about half my ticket sales for the event in in San Diego, got sold. From when we announced it in Toronto, but half of them sold. And already it's probably bumped up now to almost 3/4. Now, why do I share that with you? I share it because I have designed that event. It's going to be in San Diego, a beautiful part of the country. It's close to the beach. It's a beautiful location. aspireevent.net is the web address, just in case, aspireevent.net, where you can get your ticket. But I share this because I deliberately planned for it not to be an event the size that we had in Toronto. The Toronto event is kind of the annual end of year celebration that we experienced, that Mike and Bo delivered with finesse. The San Diego event is designed to be a little bit more intimate, where we can sit around. They've got fire pits outside at the hotel where we can sit around fire pits in the evening and have close, intimate chats and discuss the challenges and the opportunities we face in business with our leaders, with our upline, get hands-on tangible solutions. They've got a beautiful big swimming pool. We can sit there by the pool and have this great lifestyle experience where we're in this beautiful venue, sit by the pool in shorts and t-shirt, perhaps, if you wish, and have that great time. We've got a picnic on the beach that we're going to have, and of course, in the event room itself where we can get together. I've got to make a decision already soon, about, do I stick to that program and stick to that number so we can enjoy the intimacy, enjoy the exclusivity of that intimate group, and have that training for what it is with those fireside chats? Or do I open it up for more people to come, expand the room size, reduce the exclusivity, but then have to look at other things that will replace the fireside chats, because we won't all fit around the fireside, the fire pits or the swimming pool, if there's going to be all of a sudden 200 or so people doing that kind of a thing. So it's a good problem to have, but what I'd say is count yourself in quicker than counting yourself out, because Mike and Bernadette and Ruth Lowe and I are going to need to sit down and chat, because Ruth's been helping us out a lot in the planning of this. So a good challenge to have, considering it's only a few days out from when I announced it, and I haven't really done much more than announce it at Toronto. But why are people doing this? Why are they jumping in so quick? Because of the value they immediately felt in Toronto, and the sense of belonging and feeling a part of something big. That's what the business is all about, isn't it? Being a part of something bigger than us. So yeah, so those are my two things and my add-on. We're a legacy company, which means we take the hits, we keep on moving forward. Most people out there don't know who we are. We've got a fresh slate to continually give them the good news. Emotionally, new people, existing, mature, established people, everyone had an incredible experience. The bonds of loyalty were strengthened more than ever before. And like I said, that was reflected in the immediate uptick in sales for the Aspire event in San Diego, which is giving me immediate problems to address in a healthy, positive way. So that being said, I'll perhaps pass it back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Ben. You know, something that came up with Bob Proctor when he had mentioned that if he had to do it all over again, he would do it in network marketing. He mentioned that at lunchtime when I had lunch, Bo and I had lunch with him several weeks back. And again, in private, and again, I believe at the event, but even this sort of piggybacks on what Richard Brooke was talking about the model, our business model. Where else can, that's one of the images that you see very quickly on the video, where else can someone get involved in a business opportunity that has so much potential, so much upside, and yet almost no downside? I mean, the cost of getting involved, the type of support, et cetera, that you get. And Nikken is really exemplifies this through the philosophy that drives our business long before the business drove our business. The philosophy of humans being more, the philosophy of creating a balanced life. I think Bob Proctor also mentioned this in his talk where he says, don't sell the product, sell the lifestyle. People don't want the drill bit. They want the hole that the drill bit creates. And so what he's saying is people want what the business can offer, the benefits. And when we look at the Nikken business from the benefit standpoint, from the lifestyle standpoint, this is where this event this past week really showcased the wonderful benefits of being involved and associated with our opportunity. As you mentioned, Ben, there were a lot of new people there for the very first time, their first exposure to a Nikken event. Wow, what an incredible way to be, immersed in this experience. That's going to have a huge impact on their business, as it did on mine when I was first introduced to Nikken and went to my first big event, which in my case happened to be in Japan. So that left a lifelong impression that maybe is the reason why I'm here 27 years later. At least it had given me the anchor that I needed to know that this was a long-term situation. I had my children on stage, as you see at the closing video at the end there, to represent, I think more than ever, the need for what we do is not just about us. It's about family. It's about the next generation. So while, yeah, we can talk on the streets to people all day long, and few people have ever heard of us, there's a whole generation out there that don't even know this business model is there for them. Don't even know this technology is there for them. And so this is an opportunity that is generational and has a generational impact, as my children were able to share, how Nikken had impacted their life. So for those of you who are listening, maybe on this line for the first time or watching the playback, while this may be presented to you as a great product that can make an impact in your health, while this may be presented to you as a great business that can make a great impact in your finances, this is so much more and so much richer than that when you look at the full experience of Nikken, embrace the whole concept of balance in the 5 pillars of health. This can have an impression and make a life-lasting impression on all the people you influence in your life and the people you care most about, particularly family. So it's a business, but it's really sort of the business part of it is only the thing that funds the real thing. And the real thing is personal development, personal growth, a lifestyle and balance. Bernadette, I just want to make one point before we jump off here. You were a nominee for the Humans Being More Award, the first annual Humans Being More Award for Diamond Leadership Excellence in North America. And from what I understand, it was a tight race. It was a very tight race, to be honest with you. But from that perspective, what does that award signify to somebody who's out there right now who could be in qualification for that? What do you feel about that?
You know, Mike, when I received the email about that nomination, it really just had to pause and ask myself, you know, and really just reflect on where I was in ICANN and what it means for me. And really what it means for me is just, it is an incredible, powerful reminder of how important our work is, in terms of not only for ourselves, for the people we love and we care about, but for me, helping others thrive and live their best life, you know, because we have an incredible health opportunity, an incredible lifestyle opportunity, because for me, ICANN is a lifestyle program. It's not just that. And that is just an incredible reminder of why I love, you know, being in ICANN. It's an incredible reminder of why keeping, you know, leading by example is important, and why I want to bring more into this and really just help others step in. I really believe it's a responsibility that somehow has been put on me, and I love it. So it's just one more reason for me to have that drive and that fuel. It's an inspiration, and you know, it's, you know, people tell me, I mean, it's almost 20 years I've been around ICANN. Hard to believe. I know how much it has made a difference in my life, in my own family, with my children, how much it has impacted them as human beings. And I want to see that for as many people as possible. And one thing that I always say, you know, it's wonderful to win, to have that, but let's bring a lot more people with us, because there's no reason why we couldn't just experience the same wonderful gift that's been given to us.
Amazing. Yeah, fantastic. Well, I know, and I met your children, and I know they are the product of a healthy mind, which was an emphasis on one of my kids at this event, because of course a healthy mind can lead to healthy choices, which includes choices that you make for your health, your physical well-being, as well as other areas of life. So I know that there's a real need out there in the world right now for positivity, for optimism, for healthy choices, and to know that there are options that can lead to that, and a support structure. I think it was Sophia that referred to it, or Savannah, one of my kids, who talked about the ICANN program. And it was like, and this was their words, it was like, this is a program that we're all programmed in life. We are all programmed from the day we're born to be who we are in so many different ways, from the language we speak, to the foods that we enjoy, to the lifestyle that we choose, and so forth, the jobs that we may take and whatnot. And how they referred to ICANN as a program, the benefits of the ICANN program are so much more empowering and unlimited. And so anyway, I want to thank everyone for joining us on this call. I thought we might have had a little bit more time, but it went quick. Anyone, any final words, Bernadette, Ben?
One thing that I was saying, you know, and that's why I'm here with my team, is, you know, when we come back from a conference like this, any conference, but definitely this one, we're charged, we're emotionally charged, we just see everything is possible, but now it's about what you do in order to make it real. And it's really about having that strategy and that action plan, and why keeping together as a group is very important, because reality hits, negativity hits, and really creating that plan where everybody can support themselves and move towards together. Thank you, Mike. I think is critical. So that's one advice I want to give everybody. You know, use everything that you have. By the way, is whenever that video is available for everybody, watch it from time to time, because that's going to keep you in that space. And one thing that I always say, emotions are far more powerful than facts, and to stay connected with the emotions and the feelings we felt is going to take us a long way.
Yeah, I echo what Bernadette said. The critical thing for everyone now is to do something with immediacy to build their business. And I think we can do that in simple terms by focusing on some critical things such as recruitment. One of the best ways to demonstrate our commitment is go out and recruit some more people sooner rather than later, and get them engaged and building with that plan that Mike just shared. visually, just popping that up there. Get them started strong, but get them started strong, and do that sooner rather than later.
And if you were in Toronto for the summit, you have that to add to your story. It's a great story to say, I have to sit down with you. I need to talk to you. I just experienced something I must share with you. Do me a favor. Just give me the benefit of the doubt. Hear what I have to say. It may not be for you, and that's fine too, but I just owe it to you, and I owe it to myself to tell you about this.
Yeah.
And it's with that sense of urgency that you should be able to go out there and share NECAN. And whether you've been in Toronto or not, because at the end of the day, it is the truth. It may not be for them, but you actually owe it to yourself, and you owe it to them to share what you know. And they may get it, they may not. That's all right. We know that it still works. In fact, I think it was Richard Brooke who was very adamant about the numbers. He loved the Latinos presenting their numbers because the numbers don't lie. And at the end of the day, yeah, there's people who are going to say no, probably considerably more than people who say yes, but that's okay too, because it's the yeses upon which this business has been built since 1975. And there's been always considerably more no's. So it doesn't matter. It still works. It works for us. Anyway, I want to say thank you to everyone who joined us at this time in your respective communities and your respective locations. I'll send you off with your hosts to continue your meetings or end your meetings. And we want to thank you for being part of our day today. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Bernadette.
Thank you. Bye-bye.